Hi, my name is Joy. Welcome to Joyfully Made. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I want to show you how to make your own custom labels, but I want to show you how to do it two different ways. That way, you can decide which one would work best for you. First, I want to show you how to do them with the Avery printable fabric. You can print your own custom labels with this. You can also print panels to go on to projects, like if you want to do a center panel on a backpack, you can put your own design on it and make it uniquely yours. You can also use freezer paper from Walmart. This whole thing of freezer paper cost me less than $5, and it's 150 square feet of freezer paper. You can attach the freezer paper to your fabric with your iron and then run it through your printer just like you would the Avery printable paper. And let's decide which one we like the look of most. Let me know down in the description box, in the comments, which one you like the most at the end of the video. Also, please remember to like, subscribe, click that notification bell, and share my videos with anyone you think might need them. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how to prep your fabric and your freezer paper. Now, if you're going to do the freezer paper method, you just want to make sure you cut these to be the same size as these printable labels. The printable labels are 8.5 by 11. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my fabric and my freezer paper to be 9 by 12. And the reason I'm making it bigger is because while I've been doing this, I've noticed that if you cut it exactly the way it's supposed to be in the beginning, then there's no room for error. So it's better to iron the fabric on here and adjust it after the fabric is ironed on than to make it the correct size in the beginning. So I've cut we're gonna start off with six pieces of freezer paper to 9 by 12. And I have cut different types of fabric to 9 by 12. So this first fabric I want to show you is an embossed 100% cotton. The second one is a poly cotton blend, and I couldn't find a poly cotton blend at my store in white because it seems to be the most sold out color in the nation right now. So I've got it in a natural color. So we'll see how that looks. And this is a cotton rayon blend. So it has a heavier slub and it's a thicker material. So we're gonna try these 3 different types of fabric on the freezer paper in my poor printer. And we're gonna be comparing them to the Avery printable pages. Okay, so let's go to ironing the fabric. So I'm over here at my ironing board, and I'm working on getting an ironing mat for my next few videos, but it's not here yet. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure your iron is on medium. You do not want this on high heat, and you want to turn off the steam. You do not want steam on for this part. And then you're going to take your paper and you're going to take your fabric. And the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna flip it upside down. So you want the paper on the top and you want the shiny side of the paper touching the fabric. The freezer paper is matte on one side and shiny on the other. And so if you iron it with the shiny side down, it will adhere to the fabric like an interfacing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna iron our freezer paper onto all of these pieces of fabric. And I'm going to be doing the cotton and rayon blend. I'm going to be doing the poly cotton blend, and I'm going to be doing the 100% cotton. And we're going to see which one works better in the end result for what we're looking for. Okay. So you just want to go over the piece of fabric a few times. And just like you're interfacing, let it sit for a second and then go to a corner. And if it peels off easily, then you just want to give it a few more passes with the iron. You don't want to let it sit because it could either burn the paper or burn your fabric, and that is not a good. Okay, so to create the templates for our labels, I just went to avery.com/print, and I went to the templates and I put in the number from this fabric label, which was 3384. I chose my clip art and I inserted a table. I inserted the clip art and then I put my the name I want on my labels there. And so I'm done with that now. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to where it says print, and I'm gonna print these to a PDF. And then we're gonna from PDF, we're going to go. Okay, so I'm at my printer. This is an inkjet printer, it's an Epson. I actually really like this printer. If you're looking for a printer, it's the Workforce 2850. It does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So I just put the fabric in where the paper goes, and I'm going to change the paper type to plain paper. That's it. Okay, so I've finished printing onto my fabric. This was the rayon cotton blend. It's pretty thick, but it was fraying on the edges. So what I did is I took it off of the freezer paper and I ironed on some heavy duty Wonder Under to kind of keep it from fraying when I go to cut it. This is the cotton that had the embossed dragonfly. You can kind of see the embossing still. I actually really like the way this one came out. This is the Avery printable sheet of paper. This has got to be the clearest as far as the image goes. See if you can compare it to this one. And then this one has a backing on it, a shiny back, and you can iron this directly onto your project and then do a satin stitch around the edges. And then this one was the poly cotton blend, and it was so thin the printer almost ate it up. So I actually would not recommend doing this on a poly cotton blend. This was actually a poly cotton broadcloth that I had, that I cut a piece off of. So this one definitely did not work. Okay, and so let me show you how to remove so this one you don't remove the back off of. This is the Avery one. This is the cotton, and let me show you how to remove the backing off of it. Okay, so we're at the iron again. This is on my medium setting because I don't want to ruin the fabric. So on what you're gonna do, this is the Avery, so I'm gonna set it aside, is you're gonna take your fabric that you just printed on, and you're gonna take your iron and you're gonna run it just across the back of the fabric. And all we're doing is just warming it up, and we're locking in the ink with this step. So you just want to go over it a few times with the iron and then set it aside. And then you can see that the freezer paper peels off very easily. And then an extra step that I do, you don't have to do this, is I'm going to take some heavy duty Wonder Under, and I'm going to cut it out to the size of my fabric. I'm going to flip the fabric upside down, line it up, and then I'm just going to iron it on. And then I can go over to the rotary cutter when I go to cut my tags and just cut off the extra interfacing. And this just adds some body to our labels, and it'll help keep it from fraying. Okay, I'm back at my mat, and I'm just going to show you the last step. I'm gonna take and cut off the paper, and then I'm just gonna use my rotary cutter Let me get that end off of there. And all I'm gonna do is cut my tags apart, and then I'm gonna just put them in a Ziploc bag. And then when I do have a project, all I have to do is take them out of the project. Take them out of the bag. Golly, Joy, talk, right? So that's the one I did on the cotton embossed one. I made 2 of them, okay? And then here's the Avery printable paper, just so you can see the difference once they're cut. Trim it up, make it look nice. That scared the living daylights out of me. I'm sorry for anyone that just had a minor heart attack because of that. Here, let me grab a different one, but hopefully won't scare the living daylights out of me. I need to get a new rotary cutter, I can tell. Now I'm too scared to push down on it. Okay, so here are my 2 types of name tags. So this is the one made on the Avery printable fabric. See what it looks like on this rayon, because this is the one I liked the texture of the most. Oops, fix that before I make a huge mistake. Oh, too late, made a mistake. Let's move on. Go to the next line. I'll try to trim those up with actual scissors later. This is the Poly Cotton Rayon Blend. Don't do this at home, kids. There we go. Let's trim this up on this side. It's like the never-ending story. Actually, the never-ending story is laundry. Okay, there we go. So let's compare all 3 of them. So this is the Poly Cotton Rayon Blend that I didn't, I'll trim that up in a sec. This is the one that is done on the embossed cotton. And then this is the one that's done on the Avery printing paper. I actually like all 4 of them. This one, the colors are more vivid. This one just looks like a professional label if that part wasn't there. Here. That's better. Okay, clean up my workspace. So this one looks like a really nice quality label. I really like this one with the dragonfly on it. And then I like this one just because the colors are vivid. So let's see how many times I can say just in one sentence. I think that all 3 of these came out pretty well. I think this one is actually my favorite. I like the way this one looks. It looks really good to me. This one is pretty nice looking, but it doesn't, like this one looks like an actual label that I would pay for. So I think the cotton rayon blend on the freezer paper, and then I added the Wonder Under to the other side. This is my favorite label. And so the fabric I got in a clearance bin. It was really inexpensive fabric. I can't remember how much it was per yard, but it was not expensive. The freezer paper, for a whole package of freezer paper, it cost $5. And for the only other thing I had to do was put it through my printer. And then it didn't take much of the Wonder Under. It only took an 8.5 by 11 piece of Wonder Under to secure this. And it literally only took me 30 minutes today, besides filming. So if I wasn't filming, it would have taken me even less time to make this. Now I am going to be including my, I'm going to see if I can include my template for my labels down below in the description box. And then all you have to do is put in your own name. I'm sorry. So I'll include those down in the description box for you. And you can use those as a template, or you can use those as inspiration for doing your own. It was really an easy thing to do. Since I've made the template, it'll take me even less time next time because I've already cut out the extra pieces of fabric and freezer paper. And all I have to do is go ahead and just go print them and keep them in my file cabinet. I hope that tutorial was helpful for you. Please let me know down in the comment section below if there's any other sewing tips and tricks you'd like to master and get better at. I'd love to be able to assist you with that. Also, if there's anything recipes you'd like to know. I specifically focus on gluten-free recipes because I have celiac disease and so does my husband. So I have a ton of gluten-free recipes. If there's anything that you would like to get better at on cooking, I will also be glad to do a video for you on that as well. My goal here is to grow our community and, make this channel something more. Right now I'm sitting at 32 subscribers. I'd love to get that number up to 100, and after 100, let's get it up to 1,000. Let's see how far we can go up there. And I've also created a Twitter account, so you can follow me on my Twitter account is Joyfully Made Home. My Instagram account is Joyfully Made Home. And let's build a little community. I'm thinking about starting a Facebook group. If you'd like me to start a Facebook group, please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your weekend.